Welcome back. I'm really grateful you're here with me today because we're about to unpack a topic that goes beyond just another crypto headline. This is about a vision, the vision of building a self-sustaining, self-writing internet using the Internet Computer Protocol, or ICP. It's a bold idea that's been picking up steam lately, especially with the talk around projects like Caffeine AI. So let's break this down together, step by step. This video is for informational and educational purposes only. It is not financial advice. Always do your own research and consult a professional before making any investment decisions. First things first, let's get something clear about what Caffeine AI is and what it's not. Many people hear AI and immediately assume we're talking about a massive, all-knowing large language model deployed directly on-chain. But that's not the case here. Caffeine AI isn't an AI in the sense that it generates knowledge all on its own. Instead, what makes it different is how it leverages on-chain storage and eventually will tap into on-chain computation. That's where its real potential lies. Right now, the Internet Computer's unique value proposition is its ability to host decentralized applications, or dApps, directly on-chain with secure, tamper-proof storage. But deploying actual computation fully on-chain? That's still in the works. It's an ambitious goal, and it's going to take time and consistent effort from developers and the community. So when people talk about a self-writing internet, they're really talking about an ecosystem where app creation can happen naturally through human-like conversation, but the real magic happens when all that data gets stored securely on-chain. Now, why does that matter? Why should any of us care if some apps' files live on a blockchain instead of a centralized cloud server? The answer comes down to security, ownership, and freedom. By storing and eventually running code on-chain, you're eliminating a ton of middlemen and the risks that come with them. You're giving builders, users, and entire communities more control over their data and the apps they use every day. But let's get real. Ideas are nice, but what about actual numbers? If you look at the Internet Computer's recent data points, there are some important trends to pay attention to. For example, the cycle burn rate, which is essentially how much ICP is being used and destroyed to fuel the network, has slowed down over the last 6 months. That's not ideal, but it's not the end of the world either. It just means that in the short to medium term, projects like Caffeine AI could play a huge role in picking that back up by encouraging more people to deploy more apps. Speaking of deploying apps, let's talk about scale. A lot of people get caught up in individual projects, but the real network effect happens when you have thousands, even millions of dApps running on the Internet Computer. That's what drives real on-chain storage usage. It's what burns more ICP, which helps balance out the inflation of the total supply. But that's a vision that will take time, dedication, and the right incentives for developers. Now, some folks are still skeptical. They look at numbers like how much ICP sits on exchanges and worry. Right now, we've got about 51 million ICP sitting on various exchanges. That might sound like a lot, but when you remember that ICP is still dealing with inflationary supply, it's actually within expectations. It's not necessarily a sign of doom. It's just part of the growing pains of a young ecosystem. Another encouraging stat is how much ICP is being burned week by week. Recently, the network burned nearly 20,000 ICP in a single week. Compare that to the past when it was struggling to even burn 100 ICP weekly, and you'll see that there's real progress. But we can't stop there. For this network to really thrive, we need to be seeing hundreds of thousands of ICP burned each week. Is that possible? Maybe not today, but if Caffeine AI and similar projects can deliver on the promise of mass dApp deployment, that vision isn't so far-fetched. But here's the catch. While on-chain storage is here, on-chain computation isn't fully ready yet. That's a big hurdle, and the team behind the Internet Computer needs to keep pushing until it's reality. Only then can we truly have apps that not only live on-chain, but run on-chain, making the system more decentralized and secure. Now, you might be wondering, what about the big whales? What are they doing? Well, the good news is that the so-called sharks, large holders, have been steadily accumulating ICP. That's a sign that people with significant skin in the game still believe in the project's long-term potential. Meanwhile, dolphins, or mid-sized holders, are almost at all-time highs. This tells us that the community isn't bailing. They're waiting to see real progress, just like we all are. Of course, we can't talk about crypto without addressing the elephant in the room: price action. It's no secret that the ICP token has taken a beating since the start of this year. If you're a retail investor watching your portfolio dip, it can be frustrating, but it helps to look deeper at why that's happening. Part of the reason is the imbalance between longs and shorts in the market. Right now, the number of shorts, traders betting the price will drop, heavily outweighs the number of longs. When you compare this to Bitcoin, you see a clear difference. With Bitcoin, shorts often get liquidated when the price spikes, creating these so-called short squeezes that can push prices up. But with ICP, it's mostly the longs, regular retail investors, who keep getting wiped out. It's a tough cycle that feeds into itself, making it hard for the price to find solid footing. This imbalance shows up in liquidation charts too. Whenever the price dips, there's a huge wall of liquidity waiting to be grabbed by the big players. Combine that with the fact that many traders are using excessive leverage, sometimes up to 100x, and you've got the perfect conditions for price manipulation. It's not just ICP. This is a broader issue across the entire crypto space, but it's definitely something that affects how quickly ICP can gain momentum in the markets. So, where does that leave us? Well, here's the honest truth. None of this will turn around overnight. The path forward depends on developers continuing to build, the community staying engaged, and people understanding that the real value of the internet computer isn't just about trading a token for profit. It's about creating an ecosystem where millions of decentralized apps can live securely, free from centralized control. In the end, the takeaway is this: Caffeine AI and other similar projects won't magically fix everything tomorrow, but they do represent a meaningful step toward a truly self-writing internet. An internet where your data, your code, and your digital life can exist independently of any one company or centralized server. That's a vision worth supporting, even if it's a long road ahead. So to everyone out there watching, keep an eye on these developments, ask questions, and stay engaged. The future of the internet computer is going to be shaped not just by big investors or developers, but by regular people like you who believe in the idea of a more open, secure, and decentralized internet. So what do you think about ICP's current position? Are you bullish on its growth in AI and DeFi? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. If you found value in this deep dive, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more breakdowns like this. Thanks for watching. Stay curious, stay cautious, and I'll catch you in the next one.